to Lurie Tower. My name is Stephen Ball. I'm the Carillon-R at the University of Michigan. Lurie Tower was built in 1995. It's the central tower on our north campus. This is actually the first university in the world to possess two Carillon towers, and they're both very large towers with very large instruments. Now the keyboard that you're looking at to your right here is just the control panel for a much larger instrument that's about 50 feet tall and occupies about a 25-foot square in this case. The heaviest bell in this instrument is 6 tons, and they range in weight from about 6 tons, 60 bells up the keyboard, to about 15 pounds, with the weight approximately doubling from the smallest bell to the lowest bell every 5 bells. So the keyboard is mechanical action. There's no electricity of any kind. When I play the key, I'm actually just simply depressing a lever. There's a wire connected to the center of the lever. You can see that the wire runs up behind the keyboard here. If I open the music rack, and up through the roof of the cabin. The wire will run to an L-shaped lever, which changes the direction of motion from vertical to horizontal. A second wire runs directly to the bell clapper. That's how the instrument works. Mechanical connection in this way, it also means that the keyboard is touch sensitive. This means that Carillon, and not the piano invented some 200 years later, is actually the first touch sensitive keyboard instrument. Now for those of you who know how to play the keyboard, it's set up just like a normal piano with sharps and flats. This is a C, C sharp, P, D sharp. We also have a pedal keyboard which is redundant. It pulls down the lowest notes of the manual keyboard here. It allows us to play more notes at the same time, and also, of course, since you're moving to heavier bells on the left end of the keyboard, you need a little bit more leverage to play loudly. Without going into too much further detail, I'll tell you that the University of Michigan is the oldest school in North America for the study of the carillon, this instrument, and the largest subject of campanology, which is bells and how they affect culture, how they are rung, and the sorts of systems behind that. We offer various classes in the department. We're the second oldest school in the world, the first being in Mechelen, Belgium, which was established in the 20s. And we like students to come and learn to play the carillon. So if you're interested in playing, give us a call. I mean, these cities which had enough money to afford a clock, initially, you know, the clock would tell the time, but there was no way to announce it to the city, so they'd send the soldier who was watching the clock up to ring the number of hours on a bell. We figured out how to do this mechanically and started adding more and more bells in sequence. They could play a little warning, musical warning before the hour strike. And of course, if one city has 8 bells, you know, the rich next door neighbor city, they've got 8 bells, you know, we really need to have 10. So, with not a lot of great science in that matter, it's very easy to see how competition can build the instrument into, you know, what we define as carillon today, which has to be a chromatic sequence of at least 24 bells, so 2 octaves more or less. Well, I remember that when I was a student, if I was to start my day at 3 p.m., that would still be that would still be early. So I think that to some extent the carillon still wakes students up. I know that if you're at Bursley Hall, you can hear the instrument rather clearly, but really the primary function of the instrument is time telling. That's actually how the instrument was invented in the first place. How does it affect students' life? It tells time. That was the first function of bells here at the university. The earliest record we have of any musical instrument or any musical mention in the records of the university is the university had wanted to purchase a bell secondhand from Central Railroad. It had the very practical function of waking students up and telling time. In addition, the music does have an important role in student life. It comments on what's going on in the daily activities of the campus, but just as much what's going on in the daily activities of the world. You know, on a really bright sunny day in the middle of January, it's always a temptation to play Summertime, or if it's pouring, Cats and Dogs, you know, Singing in the Rain, something like that.
Okay, do it again.
Okay. Oh, I'm playing the carillon. It's the best instrument.